Hello and welcome to Dude's Comic Book Roundup. I'm Jason, and today I will be reviewing Justice League Dark, issue number 28, the only book that didn't make my comics of the week. I would also be giving my opinions and an overview of Alex and Ada, issue numbers 1 to 4, and Batwoman, issues 24, 27, and 28. So, without further ado, let's get to our first review. So in my only real proper review this week, I reviewed Justice League Dark, issue number 28. This issue was the only book that didn't make it into my comics of the week. I had 6 books this week, 5 of which could make it into comics of the week, and out of the 6 books, this was easily the weakest. It isn't a bad issue, but it's very much what you get when you have a storyline that's going on this long, is in that you get issues that just tread water. And this issue, like I say, we continuing off Forever Evil Blight storyline, and yeah, like I say, we're just treading water. We've got 2 main stories that are going on. We've got Phantom Stranger, Pandora, and Cassandra, and then we've also got what's going on in Nandar Parbat. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You wouldn't really miss much if you missed this issue. The last page for me was the highlight of the whole issue, as one of my favourite characters turns up in the, so that was really cool. But other than that, yeah, not much happens here. There's some nice dialogue between Constantine, Zatanna, and Nick Necro, and that was kind of a nice twist in the middle of the story that really is kind of a double twist, if you will. But yeah, nothing really in this issue advances our story, except for the last page. And the art is not done by Mikel Janin, though Vincenzo Cervantes, who comes on the book, he does a really good job on the art. I don't know if his style is naturally like Janin's or something he's deliberately tried to do, but it does remind me a lot of Janin's style. There are some pages and some pictures that you can kind of say he doesn't get quite right, but overall the bulk of the art I liked. And yeah, this issue was one of those issues that I'd call okay, and I would give Justice League Dark issue number 28 3 stars. So next up is my overview of Alex and Ada, issues 1 to 4. And this is a series that's co-written by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughan, with art by Jonathan Luna. And it centers around a character, obviously, called Alex. And it's set in the future. The robots are becoming a much bigger part of everyday life. People use them as sex toys. People use them as companions. People use them to do domestical things around the house. The army used them on the battlefield. So, you know, they are becoming a much bigger part of everyday life. There's been some kind of big massacre deal that's gone on. So, you know, there's restrictions on how much intelligence, how much free will these machines have. But there's also this other technology that people have in their head, the human beings this is, and where they don't need to like pick up the phone, they can answer it in their head, and stuff like that. And when they go on the internet, it's all inside their head. So yeah, we meet this character called Alex. He's come out of a relationship, 7-month relationship, and 7 months since he's come out of a relationship, and he's still not really got on the horse, and you know, he's out there again. He's settled into this lonely kind of life, and his sister and his friends kind of want to push him in the other direction. And his gran, for his birthday, she has got one of these robots, and she finds him a great companion, and also kind of says how they have great sex, which kind of totally grosses Alex out, because he doesn't want to think of his grandma having sex. And by the way, these robots, they're not like C-3PO, they're like, you know, more like Terminator. You know, they look human, they feel human. And she buys him a robot for his birthday, and it's kind of then how Alex deals with that, and how he decides, you know, whether he decides to keep it or not, and going on from there, what does he want from this robot, and then it kind of leads him in another direction. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this book. It reminded me in the way that robots are a much bigger part of everyday life, and the way that they illustrate the future. There's no hover cars. Technology is stuff that you could very much recognize, but you can see the advancements, but you can recognize it. In that respect, it did remind me of the RoboCop remake and their vision of the future in that film as well. The future is very clean and clinical in this future world. It's not a dirty lived-in world like you'd get in Alien or Star Wars. This is a very clean world. which the way you think things are these days, I could see that. And the art illustrates that beautifully, as the art is also very clean and beautiful to look at. I like our central character of Alex. One of the big issues that comes up in the book, for me, it's kind of thinking, what makes somebody sentient? Is it free will? Is it, what is it that little thing that gives somebody that sentience, so that was an interesting kind of issue here, and also like people's rights and stuff. So there's a lot of really interesting topics being discussed here. Alex as a character I really like. He's a character you can easily relate to. He has concerns about what it looks like with this we're having this robot. And the thing as well, I think how this is handled by the writing team is really, because this could have been a really sleazy book in different hands. You've got this robot that looks like a real woman. Yeah, it could have gone down sleazy routes, but it hasn't, and it's explored different kind of issues and it's been a fascinating read as this story's kind of developed, and seeing Alex's journey and the reader's journey as well, as we understand more and we get more and more explained to us as we get deeper into the story. And this world that at the beginning of the story looks pretty clear cut becomes a lot more complicated by the time you get to the 4th issue. The bulk of the book has really been just Alex and Ada, and there's been other characters coming in here and there, but no, there haven't been that many characters that I think have been in every issue. It's really the bulk of the book is Alex and Ada. Each issue comes with a really good cliffhanger that has you really wanting to see what happens next. And like the first issue very much deals with introducing this world, introducing us to Alex, and then by the end of the issue we meet Ada. Second issue, it kind of things open up more. What's he going to do? His reaction to Ada and how he deals with all of that. And by the end of the book, he's made a big decision before something big happens. The second issue is he's kind of dealing with people knowing now about Ada and where he wants to take his relationship with Ada. What he wants from this. And then the 4th issue is where that decision, where he wants what he wants from this, where that leads him. And by the end of the 4th issue, things have totally changed, and things aren't going to be the same again. And it's really going to be interesting to see the direction that they take. Each issue, I get more enveloped in this world, and the more I want to be in this world and experience this world and find out more about this world. Like I said, the art is just really beautiful, and all in all, it's just a really good read that really makes you think, as well as just enjoying a good story. It also, for me at least, it made me really think about different things and different topics as I'm reading the book, like what makes somebody sentient, and about, people's rights, So yeah, all in all, I've really enjoyed this book. Really glad I listened to everyone and jumped on board this book. And I would give, as a whole overall kind of score for the first 4 issues, I would give Alex and Ada 5 stars out of 5 stars, definitely. And I definitely recommend, if you want to wait for the trade, or you're going to try and dig out the issues, I definitely recommend picking this book up. It's really good. It has that whole vibe of like something that you could easily see made into a TV show. Because I don't think it would cost that much. The futuristic world isn't that high tech that it would take a lot of special effects. I think it could be done on a nice budget, but it definitely does have that kind of feel, and I've really enjoyed the book thus far, and yeah, I'd definitely give this book a recommendation. So finally this week we have a quick roundup of Batwoman. I read issues 24, 27 and 28 to catch up with that book. My comic shop didn't have 25, 26, but I did find them on eBay, so they will hopefully be arriving next week. This is one of my favourite characters in the New 52. I like her. I remember first reading her in the mini-series. I don't know if you'd call it a mini-series because it went for a year, but the 52 series, that was called 52. I remember reading her character in there and really liking her, and when the New 52 came out, it was one of the first books I checked out. I dropped the book just because I wasn't happy with how the creators left it, but it was a character that I'd become invested in, and I wanted to see what was happening. I hadn't heard very good things about the book, and which is why I hadn't jumped back on it. But you know, I felt the time was right, that there was a gap in my pull list that I could afford it, so I tried it out. And I must say it was a mixed bag, but overall I enjoyed it. Issue 24, first up, is the final issue of Williams and Blackman's run on the book. I think they had a good run overall. I think they started off really strong. I think their story then got a bit complicated, and it went down a bit, but then I felt they came back and the quality again picked up. They added Wonder Woman, and Williams went back on art, and I think just the strength of the book really picked up. I think their high point was the end of that whole Medusa arc, as well as the beginning of the next arc. I felt was their high point. This current arc that they were on, I felt had kind of slowed, and I don't know now to how much of that was that they had things planned but were been stopped from doing them. But yeah, they'd kind of slowed up. This story had lost a bit of momentum, but this issue certainly gets that momentum back, and they went out with a bang. Everybody's kind of got their missions, as they're all, you know, trying to do what they need to do to save Batwoman's sister. The scenes with Batman and Batwoman are really great. There's a great double page spread of Batwoman when she first attacks Batman, which is awesome. I liked, you know, all the different kind of missions that were going on here were really good, and all the little bits that built up to the whole. The art, I felt, yeah, in the main was good. Especially, like I said, there was a great double page spread. And all in all, I enjoyed this issue. The conclusion, though, I was just like, it was just an awesome cliffhanger, but then the knowledge that we ain't going to get that picked up until the annual, which I think comes out next month, I think is an utter disgrace. I was really disappointed with how great this book ended, knowing that we're going to have to wait to see how it finishes. But all in all, I really enjoyed Batwoman 24. So then we move on to 27, which is the first issue I'd read with the new creative team. So this issue is written by Mark Andreyko, with art by Jeremy Ho and Francis Manapul. Manapul, has just much like J.H. Williams III, has a very unique way that he lays out his pages, and he does. You can tell the pages he does here as there's this whole oh god, I don't know if I can say the word now, hallucination scene with Batwoman, and he just draws those beautifully, and I really loved how those pages worked. Because those pages do take up big chunks of the book, it does create the book as a fast read, but I thought it was written well enough that I really caught up on the book and caught up on the story really well. Did not like Hawkfire in this book. I felt she was really callous. The way she just leaves Kate, I thought was really out of order, and I did not like that. But overall, I'd heard nothing but bad about this issue, and I actually ended up quite enjoying it. And the cliffhanger at the end, it hooked me for the next issue. So all in all, yeah, I would probably have give this issue a 3 if I was reviewing it, just because I thought there was some good and there was some bad, but I think they balanced each other out. Then I bang up to date now. I read issue 28 of Batwoman. I really like the way Maggie and Kate deal with their issues, that they don't shout and scream, that they discuss it quietly and calmly, and I like that. I like that a lot. And I also liked how, like, we showing Kate kind of getting out that anger and that tension by beating up some goons, trying to get answers of who Wolf Spider is, which I also really liked. That story starts coming together as well, and why they want these paintings and stuff, so that was really interesting as well. The cliffhanger at the end, I thought, hooked me for the next issue, which is what they need to be doing, as I'm really interested to see where this is going to go. And yeah, all in all, I enjoyed the issue. The art I felt was good. I enjoyed the art, so that was good. Yeah, and okay, it's not the most action-packed kind of story, and again, I do not like how they write in Hawkfire. I just do not like her character at the moment in this book. And yeah, you know, like I say, you could have more action going on and the story could move quicker, but all in all, though, I thought it was a solid issue and I ended up quite enjoying it, and I would have given this issue a 4. I think probably with issue 27, 28, because I came into the books with expectations low, I think that's where I probably went away more satisfied, because, you know, when you come into something expecting it to be bad, and then it's not as bad as you're expecting, you actually end up being quite satisfied. So maybe that's where with the people that gave it negative reviews, they might have came to the book with higher expectations and it hasn't met those. So I think that can often colour the way you review a book. So yeah, that's my reviews for this week. I will be back, hopefully, fingers crossed, on Tuesday with a Marvel Ultimate Graphic Novel review. I then will be hopefully back on Wednesday with a comic haul video. As I share, we did a new books I pick up, and next week I think I've got 11 or 12 coming out next week. Some places they say Captain America's coming out, some places say it's not. So at the moment I'm not quite sure. If Captain America comes out, it'll be 12. If it doesn't come out, it should be 11. Though I am tempted to pick up, I think, is he called Starlight? The new Mark Miller, you know, the first book in the Millerverse. I'm tempted to maybe give that issue a whirl. I'm not sure yet, but if I don't give that one a whirl and Captain America doesn't come out, it'll be 11, but it could end up being 13. Yeah. So, and I hopefully do a haul for that, but it depends how much time I have on the Wednesday evening. And then I will be back on the Friday with Dudes Comics of the Week, and at some point over the weekend we'll have another Dudes Comic Book Roundup. So all that leaves me to do is to say thank you very much for watching this video. I've been Jason. This has been Dudes Comic Book Roundup. I was going to say comic reviews. I stopped myself. So yeah, this was Dudes Comic Book Roundup. Bye for now.